This is pre-calculus, notes on 3.4, combining transformations. One of the things that you have to do is be able to state the parent function. And maybe I should go back for a second and talk and give you the definition of parent function. This was from your notes a couple of videos ago. The parent function, a function whose graph is a certain shape that has the simplest algebraic rule. So here's what I want you to focus on while we are talking about this in today's lesson. It's the simplest algebraic rule. So if we go back to these problems here, where they're asking for the parent function, you want to give an algebraic thing that is happening. And so we are looking for, in this case, x cubed. This is going to be a cubic graph. It's going to have the shape of a cubic graph. And so the parent function for this graph is f of x equals x cubed. Okay, your choices have to be those that are on that parent graph sheet that was in the beginning of this section. Number 13, f of x just equals a number. That is the constant graph. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it must be the first one. It is the constant function right here. Well, I was trying to draw on there. There it is, the constant function. Going back. The algebraic rule for that, let's call that f of x equals c. Oh, wrong page. Okay, so this is, the parent function is f of x equals c, where c is a constant number. Number 14 is the parent graph is the reciprocal graph because we're dividing by f. Number 15, the parent graph is the greatest integer. Okay. You have to look at what is happening to x. What is that big function that is going to affect the shape of the graph that's happening to x? And 16, the cubic root. Okay. All right, moving on. Graph each function and its parent on the same axes. All right, so now these are rough sketches. Okay, you don't have to be fancy about these. We know the shape of the reciprocal graph is something like this. Okay. Here I've got a negative, so it's a reflection across the x-axis. So the what's in quadrant 1 will now go to quadrant 4, and what's in quadrant 3 now goes to quadrant 2. So in red I did the parent, in green I did the reflection of that parent graph over the x-axis.
Attention all after school activities. 3 o'clock activity buses will be here shortly. 3 o'clock activity buses will be here shortly.
Okay, the parent function for the cubic graph is this. Okay, the cubic root, I should say. All right, the reflection, now this is going to be a reflection, since that negative is happening inside of the cubic root, is going to be a reflection about the y-axis. Okay, so what is in quadrant 1 happens now in quadrant 2, and what was in quadrant 3 happens now in quadrant 4. So again, the red is the parent, and the green is the reflection across the y-axis. Problem 19, the parent graph is the absolute value graph. Okay. Here I'm subtracting and I'm doing it inside the grouping symbols before I do absolute value. So that is a shift to the right too. There we go. And that's it for my examples. Okay. Now with these, and I'm pretty sure there's a question on your upcoming test or maybe even on the midterm about this. Okay, here we are going to describe the transformations on a parent graph. And we have to make sure that we do this in the right order, okay? Here is the general form for all transformations on any parent function, okay? And they are given in the order A, B, C, D, and those orders happen first, okay? What I've got for problem 20 is a linear graph, all right? So my parent function is just f of x equals x, all right? I have no multiplier inside these parentheses. Okay, so notice here my A is inside one parentheses but outside the other. I have no multiplier here inside those parentheses. So A is 1. All right, there is no transformation of A in this problem. All right, B is a shift to the right 4. Okay. C is a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, and since the absolute value of -3 is greater than 1, it is a vertical stretch away from the x-axis. Okay, so we dealt with C. Now we're going to deal with D. D comes last, and now it is a shift up 1. Okay. So again, order is important. All right. Problem 21. We've got a switching of order here. Let me rewrite this, where I'm going to put -x cubed plus 2. And in order to put this in the form C equals F, C times F of A x minus B plus D. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. I got it right. I did that from memory. It's been a while. C times F of A times x minus B plus D. Okay, in order to get it in that form, what I want to do is I want to factor out this negative. So that's going to be my A. All right. So this is going to be 4 times negative x cubed. X cubed divided by -1 is x cubed. 2 divided by -1 is -2. Okay, so for this problem, C is 4, A is -1, B is 2, and D is -3. And we're going to do them in the form in the order A, B, C, D. Okay. So A is a reflection about the y-axis. Okay. So we are going to reflect about the y-axis. I know I spelled reflect wrong. All right, B is a shift to the right 2. C C is bigger than 1, so it is going to be a stretch away from the x-axis. And then D is -3, so that is going to be a shift down 3. All right, that's it for that video.